Hello students, welcome to my class. Today I will discuss some questions which will help you in NEET, JEE and other competitive examination where physics will be a part. Like the first question is, a unit charge moves on equipotential surface from point A to point B. Then which will be correct answer? First of all, we need to know what is an equipotential surface. Equipotential surface what? Equipotential surface, here I can see EQ, it means equal potential, means there will be no potential difference between two surfaces. Equipotential surface means there will be no potential difference, that means potential difference is represented by dV and this will be equal to 0 if two surfaces are A and B, then the difference, that is VB or VA minus VB, the difference will be what? 0. There will be no potential difference between two surfaces. So the correct option will be VA minus VB, that is equal to 0. That means option number B will be our correct answer. Next question is, a particle of mass 0.3 kg subject to a force of F equal to minus kx with k is equal to 15 Newton by meter. What will be its initial acceleration if it is released from a point 20 centimeter? A particle of mass 0.3 kg, that is m is equal to 0.3 kg and force F equal to what? Minus kx. F equal to minus kx. K is 15. K is what? 15 Newton by meter. 15 Newton by meter. And the question is about initial acceleration. What will be our acceleration? And if it is released from a point 20 centimeter, that means it is our distance, that is 20 centimeter. If I will convert it into meter, this will be 0.2 meter. So this question is about spring. And for a spring, we know that force F is equal to minus kx. It is also in simple harmonic motion. So we know from Newton's second law of motion, F equal to mass into acceleration, and that is equal to minus kx. And my acceleration A will be minus kx by m. Here k is 15, acceleration is 0.2 and mass is 0.3. If I will solve this, I can get here, this will be 10 meter per second square. This is my acceleration. Acceleration is minus 10 meter by second square. Minus, the negative sign indicates that force is directly proportional to negative displacement. Condition of simple harmonic motion, F is force is directly proportional to what? Negative displacement. So the correct option will be option number C, which is 10 meter by second square. Then question number 3, no work done if no work done. The question about work done. We know formula for work done is W is equal to dot product between force and displacement. Formula for work done is dot product between force and displacement. And if that is dot product, I can write here W is equal to Fs cos theta. Then 3 question arises. If F is equal to 0, then I can say W is equal to 0 because one term is getting 0 here. And next, if the displacement is 0, first force, this is for option number B. Force is 0, then even work is 0, no work done. And first option, then displacement S is 0, then even work is 0. Then even work is 0. And now if force and displacement are mutually perpendicular, that means option C, theta is 90 degree because it is saying that force and displacement, they are mutually perpendicular. So W will be equal to again 0. Then here all the 3 above options are correct. So the correct option will be option number D, all of this above. Then number 4, the volume of nucleus is directly proportional to. This is a question from nuclear physics. The volume of nucleus is directly proportional to. We know that radius of any nucleus radius of any nucleus R equal to R0 a to the power 1/3. What is R0? R0 is radius of hydrogen nucleus, that is 1.2 Fermi. 1.2 Fermi. And A is what? A is mass number of a nucleus. A is mass number of a nucleus. Mass number means how many neutrons and protons are present in the nucleus. Like I am saying, this is carbon 6 and 12. Here I can say there is number of proton is 6, and number of neutron that is 12 minus 6, that is equal to 6. So your mass number is your 12, that is your mass number, and this is 6, this is your atomic number, or I can say this is your proton number. 6 is your proton number and 12 is your mass number. Mass number indicates how many protons and neutrons are inside nucleus. So this is the basic formula for radius of any nucleus. This R equal to R0 a to the power 1/3. R0 is 1.2 Fermi, that is radius of hydrogen nucleus, and A is mass number. Then if I am taking nucleus to be a spherical, it may be oblate, it may be prolate shape, but here I am considering it to be a spherical body. The nucleus, if the nucleus is spherical, we know that volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r cube. That means 4/3 pi. In place of r, I can write this is r0 a to the power 1/3 cube. Here it will be as 4/3 pi. This is r0 cube, and this is only a. So my volume is directly proportional to mass number. This indicates that if your nuclear mass number increases, then volume also will increase. I can clearly say, if this is my hydrogen and this is helium, as for hydrogen the mass number may be 1, 2, 3, protium, deuterium and tritium, and for helium it is 2 and 4. For helium this is 2 and 4. For hydrogen, later I am saying H11, I can say volume of helium nucleus is greater than that of volume of hydrogen nucleus, because mass number of helium is greater than that of mass number of hydrogen. Volume of nucleus is directly proportional to what? A means what? Mass number of the nucleus. So my correct option will be option number A. At very low temperature, silicon exits. At very low temperature, silicon exits. So what is silicon? Silicon is a kind of semiconductor. Silicon is a kind of semiconductor. For semiconductors, we know that according to band theory, what happens? This is my valence band and this is my conduction band, and according to band theory, there is some amount of gap between valence band and conduction band, and as because silicon is a kind of semiconductor, there must be a small band gap. This is called band gap or forbidden energy gap or band gap energy. For silicon, there is some gap. If I am cooling silicon, if temperature for very low temperature, that means I am cooling silicon. If I am cooling silicon, this gap is remain. So I can say the electron, it will be difficult for electron to jump from valence band to conduction band. So as because electron cannot jump from valence band to conduction band at low temperature, so I can say there will be no flow of electron in conduction band. So it will not be considered as metal, because metals are conductors, and non-metals I cannot say because some kind of gases are there which conducts electricity. And I can clearly say the option C will be correct answer, because in case of insulator there is no flow of electron. So the electron will remain in valence band and it cannot jump to conduction band. It cannot flow in somewhere else, that is in conduction band. So I can say silicon, your silicon is a kind of insulator at very low temperature. So question number 6, that is the G varies with, G is a constant, its value is 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11 Newton meter square by kg square. Newton meter square by kg square, and it is constant throughout the universe. It is called universal gravitational constant, and it is as because it is a constant, it cannot vary above the earth surface, it cannot vary with the depth, radius of the planet, and the only option is none of this, as because it is a constant. So universal gravitational constant does not depend on these parameters. Next question is the restoring force per unit area. Restoring force, that means force by area. Force by area. Force by area, what? It will be denoted as stress. Stress is force per unit area. So option number C will be our correct answer. And in simple harmonic motion, this is the acceleration is directly proportional to. In my previous question, some questions like I can say in this question. In question number 2, I have written there what your force is equal to minus kx, and force is directly proportional to minus x. And I have told there is a kind of simple harmonic motion. So in simple harmonic motion, force is directly proportional to what? Negative displacement. Force is directly proportional to what? Negative displacement. So my option number negative displacement, force is directly proportional to negative displacement. That means option number C will be my correct answer. In simple harmonic motion, force is directly proportional to negative displacement. For example, I can say yes, this is a kind of spring, and this is a kind of block, and if I am pulling it in the direction, if I am applying force in the direction, it will ultimately displace in the opposite direction to force. So I can say force is directly proportional to what? Negative displacement. So this is the condition of simple harmonic motion. So option number C will be my correct answer. Which of the following is not a thermodynamic function? What is thermodynamic function? The option number B will be our correct answer, because in thermodynamic system, work done is path dependent. Work done is path dependent. Work done will be dependent on the path. This is my PV diagram, pressure versus volume diagram, and I am drawing a curve like this. So the work will completely different in experiment number 1 as compared to experiment number 2 if the path is different. If the path is different, then there will be different types of work. Work means what? In thermodynamic work, I can say the area under pressure and volume. Area under pressure and volume curve indicates your work. Here area is small, so there will be less work in compared to second experiment. In thermodynamic system, work done is dependent on what? Path. So this is, which of the following is not a thermodynamic function? So it is not a thermodynamic system. And except work, enthalpy, Gibbs energy, and internal energy, all these are thermodynamic functions. Then the dimension of potential energy. In universe, wherever you go, the dimension of energy will remain same, and that energy dimension is equal to m1 L2 T minus 2. m1 L2 T minus 2. So option number B will be our correct answer. m1 L2 T minus 2. Then section B. Section B. So for today, this will be my last question. I will discuss other question in the next day. Then for section B, a particle covers half of its total distance with speed v1 and the rest half distance with speed v2. Its average speed during the complete journey is. This is my track. I am denoting this as A to B. Half of its distance means this will be as your distance s by 2, and this is another half distance, this is again s by 2, and this whole distance is your s. The half distance is covered at time t1 and the second half distance is covered at t2. Then I can say t1, we know that velocity is equal to distance by time. So time will be equal to distance by displacement by velocity. That means in the first case displacement is s by 2, and for first case the speed is v1. This will be my v1. And similarly for second case t2 is equal to displacement will be s by 2 and velocity is v2. Like I can say average velocity v average will be equal to displacement, means total displacement is my AB, which is equal to S by total time taken, that is T1 plus T2. This AB is equal to S by 2 plus S by 2, that is equal to S, and T1 equal to S by 2 of B1 plus S by 2 of B2. Like I can say here, taking S by 2 and cancelling out S and S, this will be as 1 over 1 by 2, taking common, this will be B1 plus B2. The LCM is B1 and B2. With 2, it is going to numerator, this is 2B1 B2, 2B1 B2 by B1 plus B2. So my correct option will be 2B1 B2 by B1 plus B2, that is option number B. So these are few questions for today. The next day I will discuss other question.